Al Koken, Charlie Willem, and very pleased to welcome in, I guess we can call him the host here from Towson University, Pat Skerry. And Charlie, isn't it nice? You set an NCAA record, the greatest turnaround from one season to the next, and you get a new building out of it.
Absolutely. I don't want to jinx you or anything, but, what do you do for an encore? I said the same thing to Shaka Smart several years ago. What did he do? He went to the Final Four.
We wouldn't mind having that back on. But we're excited. The new building's spectacular, and obviously we're pumped up that the tournament's coming to Baltimore. And the expectations are good. We're embracing those, but we've got a lot of work to do to get where we want to get to.
Before we talk about some of the talent, we saw Jarrell Benneman prominently featured there on that All-CAA preseason team, the returning CAA Player of the Year. But do talk to us about this building and what a factor, not only immediately but down the road, you believe this can be for your program.
Well, it's a huge thing. It's a $72 million arena. It's got luxury boxes. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's really helped us in recruiting. It's got that wow factor, and then I think it's our athletics have really risen with football and the successful lacrosse programs, and now that you have to get it going a little bit in basketball, have a real building, a culture of kids coming out and coming to the games and going crazy. It can be a really tough home court advantage. That's what we're striving for.
Well, you got 4 returning players from last year's team. I know that's got you smiling pretty good, but tell us a little bit about each one of them.
Well, everyone knows about Jarrell, and he's gotten a lot better in this offseason. And we're going to experiment with him at the point guard a little bit as well. I think that's going to cause some concerns for some coaches in preparation. And then, Guthrie has been our most improved player in the program. Guthrie and Damas are our heart and soul energy guys, and then Mike Burwell's kind of our glue guy. He does a little bit of everything for us, and somewhat underappreciated, but very good. And then we need our 2 freshmen that played a lot to make that step their sophomore year, and Jerome Hairston and Tamaj Parker, and both those guys are capable of doing that.
I would imagine for a guy like Damas, you must enjoy it particularly because he was there on the tough year and then got to see some success. It's got to be great to have a guy like that being able to see both sides of everything and maybe pass that on to the people who are coming into the program.
I tell him this all the time. First of all, I pound him incessantly in practice, but he's my favorite guy. It's hard to go through what he went through, and adversity builds a little bit of character, and we need him. I thought he played at an all-conference level late in the year, and I think he's hungry to kind of have success. But when you win, everybody gains, and that needs to be our mantra.
Tell us a little bit about For McGlynn, the former from coming in from Vermont, was the player of the Rookie of the Year in that conference. What do you expect out of him this year?
Well, he needs to defend up to our level, but he can really shoot the basketball from the three-point land, which we struggle to do. He can shoot threes, he can make free throws, and he usually doesn't turn it over. If he can do that, he's the one guy that could probably really, really help Benneman, just with some of our spacing and make some people pay when they think about double teams or zones. So he's a weapon, and as it gets closer to games, he's starting to play a little bit better. So we're excited about that.
Well, shooting hides a multitude of sins out there, as we all know. So
it does.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a little bit, but didn't you take a trip this summer with your team?
We did.
How did you find that to be beneficial for you?
Well, the practices, I really appreciate my university and administration letting us do that. The practices were really good. You get 10 practices, and we went up to Canada. We played a very tough schedule up there, and we actually had some injuries, and then Jarrell had an opportunity to play in something else. So we actually played the games without Damas, Hairston, and Benneman. So it ended up being pretty, and I don't want that to happen long term, but it was good for us because we got to play a lot of other guys extended minutes. We played like 2 kind of pro teams that were good, and then we played Carleton, who was outstanding and very well coached. So we wanted to play up a little bit, and I thought it was great. I think anyone should do it, and Montreal it was great time.
Well, they also talk about non-conference schedule this year. You got Kansas and Villanova on the slate, so that should get you an early taste of what you can expect from your team.
Well, I think us, and obviously I'm hopeful for this, all the teams in the league's going to be really good, is hopefully teams are really good early, because that really helps the conference. We want to play an aggressive non-conference schedule to get us ready for the CAA, because I know you got to be really good in March, and time will tell. I don't think we're good yet, but I think we can become pretty good.
Well, I know Pat would like to have his team at its best in March when the tournament is right down the road here at First Mariner Arena. Pat Skerry from the Towson Tigers. Pat, thanks so much, and congratulations on a great year, and good luck this year.
Thanks, guys.